everyone has different opinion on different issues. It is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we lend our voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just mere talk, it is an educative program that touches the core of our existence.
Adbn, Advocate Broadcasting Network.
This is Adbn News. The headlines. President Tinubu postpones FEC meeting following Chief of Army Staff's Lieutenant General Lagbaja's death as national leaders, others mourn his demise. Kano Governor Engineer Abba Yusuf pledges reintegration of minors arrested in #End Bad Governance protest, assures education and business support. While the federal government unveils subnational tour to boost business growth, facilitate public-private collaboration across states. And on the foreign scene, world leaders congratulate Mr. Donald Trump as he coasts towards United States presidency, anticipates renewed partnerships and collaborations. In sports, National Sports Commission calls for enhanced collaboration with educational institutions to boost sports. Good evening and a warm welcome. I am Chijioke Okafor, and now the news in detail. We begin our bulletin this evening with the sad report that President Bola Tinubu rescheduled today's Federal Executive Council meeting to a later date in honor of the late Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, the Chief of Army Staff, who passed away on Tuesday night. The postponement was confirmed in a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Onanuga. General Lagbaja, whose death was officially disclosed by the Presidency, served as the 27th Chief of Army Staff from 19th June 2023 until his passing on 5th November 2024. In a show of respect, President Tinubu has also ordered that flags be flown at half-staff nationwide for 7 days in honor of the departed military leader. President Tinubu expressed his heartfelt condolences to the Lieutenant General's family and the Nigerian Armed Forces. He wished the late General eternal peace as he lauded his significant contributions to the nation. Meanwhile, President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, has described the late Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, as an exceptional officer who dedicated his life to the security and unity of Nigeria. In a statement by his Special Assistant on Media, Mr. Jackson Odom, Senator Akpabio expressed deep shock at the news of General Lagbaja's passing, especially coming just days after a positive conversation with the President, during which the late military chief had appeared hopeful about his return to office. Senator Akpabio noted that General Lagbaja's untimely death at a time when the nation desperately needed his experience to address the ongoing security challenges in various parts of the country represents a profound loss to Nigeria and the security community. He described the late Chief of Army Staff as a fine, committed and courageous officer who gave his all in service to the nation, even at the risk of his life. On behalf of his family, the people of Akwa Ibom Northwest Senatorial District, and the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Akpabio extended his condolences to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the military community, and the larger Lagbaja family. He also prayed that Almighty Allah grants the late officer's wife, children, colleagues, and all who mourn him the strength to bear the irreplaceable loss and grants the soul of the departed hero eternal rest in Al-Jannah Firdaus. In a related development, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, has described the late Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, as a gallant military officer. In a statement through his special advisor on media and publicity, Mr. Musa Krishi, Speaker Tajuddin expressed deep shock over the passing of the Chief of Army Staff, calling it a significant loss to both the Nigerian Armed Forces and the nation. Speaker Tajuddin lauded the late General Lagbaja for his achievements during his brief tenure as Chief of Army Staff, noting that he made notable strides in strengthening the military. He highlighted how, after assuming office, Lieutenant General Lagbaja visited military bases across the country, particularly in the northeast and northwest, to boost the morale of soldiers in the front lines. This, the Speaker said, reflected Lieutenant General Lagbaja's unwavering determination and commitment to ensuring the safety and security of the nation. The Speaker also extended his condolences to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, as well as to the Nigerian Armed Forces, the Lagbaja family, and the people and government of Osun State. Speaker Tajuddin prayed for the peaceful repose of the soul of the late Chief of Army Staff. More so, Nigeria Governors Forum has expressed deep sorrow over the passing of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Abiodun Lagbaja, joining President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the rest of the nation in mourning the loss of the distinguished military leader. In a statement today, Chairman of the NGF, Governor Abdurrahman Abdurazak of Kwara State, extended heartfelt condolences to President Tinubu and the Nigerian military and the family of the late Army Chief. The statement described Lieutenant General Lagbaja as a great patriot whose unwavering dedication to the country left an indelible mark on Nigeria's military history. It expressed deep sympathy for his family and the Nigerian Army during this difficult time, finding comfort in the lasting memories of his exemplary service to the nation. The NGF noted that even in death, Lieutenant General Lagbaja's legacy of courage and commitment to a united and stronger Nigeria remains honored. The forum prayed for the forgiveness of his shortcomings, eternal peace in Al-Jannah Firdaus, and strength for his family to endure this painful chapter. In the meantime, Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has expressed deep sorrow over the death of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, calling it a great misfortune for the state and the nation. In a statement today, Governor Adeleke extended his condolences to President Bola Tinubu, the Lagbaja family, and the people of Osun State following the untimely passing of the Army Chief. He described General Lagbaja as a hard-working officer, a dedicated soldier, and a true model of the traditional Army officer. Governor Adeleke noted that the late General Lagbaja had an ambitious vision for modernizing and integrating the Nigerian Army, and that his death marked a significant loss to Osun State, the Nigerian Army, and the entire Ilobu community. He further lauded General Lagbaja for his operational reforms within the military, particularly his reform efforts to enforce professionalism and his decisive actions against terrorists and bandits during his brief tenure. While reflecting on his last interaction with the late Army Chief, Governor Adeleke recalled how General Lagbaja spoke passionately about his vision for a stronger, more united Nigeria, with the military playing a key role in stabilizing the nation. The governor acknowledged that while the loss is deeply painful, it is God's will, and offered his heartfelt sympathies to the family, the Nigerian Armed Forces, and the people of Ilobu. He also extended special condolences to Mrs. Maria Lagbaja and their 2 children. Similarly, Oyo State Governor Mr. Seyi Makinde has expressed deep sorrow over the passing of Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, the Chief of Army Staff, describing it as a profound loss to the nation. Governor Makinde, in a statement signed by his special advisor on media, Mr. Suleiman Olarewaju lauded the late General Lagbaja as a patriot and one of Nigeria's finest military officers. The governor extended his condolences to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, and to the Nigerian Army. He also sympathized with the immediate family of the late Chief of Army Staff as well as the government and people of Osun State, describing the loss of General Lagbaja as a tragedy for the entire nation. Governor Makinde prayed to Allah to grant eternal peace to the soul of the departed general who passed away on Tuesday night in Lagos after a brief illness. In a related development, Enugu State Governor Dr. Peter Mbah has expressed deep sorrow over the death of former Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, describing him as a gallant and patriotic officer. Governor Mbah paid tribute to General Lagbaja's unwavering dedication to the nation, noting that his passing is not only a significant loss to the Nigerian Army, but also a personal loss to the people and government of Enugu State. In a statement, Governor Mbah reflected on General Lagbaja's distinguished military career, highlighting his leadership as the General Officer Commanding of the 82 Division of the Nigerian Army, based in Enugu from March 2021 to August 2022. He also acknowledged Lagbaja's extensive service in various critical roles, including his tenure at the Armed Forces Command and Staff College in Jaji, and his involvement in the United Nations mission in the Democratic Republic of Congo, ultimately rising to the highest rank in his career as Chief of Army Staff. Governor Mbah also recognized the late general's vital support in the ongoing fight against insecurity in Enugu State, which he credited as instrumental in the state's security achievements. On behalf of the government and people of Enugu State, Governor Mbah extended his condolences to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Nigerian Army, the family of General Lagbaja, and the people of Osun State, where the late general hails, and prayed for the peaceful repose of his soul. As the country mourns the sudden death of former Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, who passed away after a brief illness, correspondent Fumi Ademi takes us down memory lane of Chiefs of Army Staff who died while in active service. Her report.
Lieutenant General Lagbaja's death comes just under a year after his appointment by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. His death marks another devastating blow to the nation's military leadership. Lieutenant General Lagbaja's passing on is significant as it marks the third time in the country's history that a Chief of Army Staff has died while in office. Other Chiefs of Army Staff who died while serving include Lieutenant Colonel Joseph Akine in August 1967. Colonel Joseph Akine, just 30 years old, was appointed Chief of Army Staff shortly before the outbreak of Nigerian Civil War. After a visit to the front line in Osuka, he returned briefly to his hometown, Boko, but tragically, on his way back to Makurdi, the helicopter carrying him crashed, killing him and two pilots aboard. Lieutenant General Ibrahim Attairu, appointed Chief of Army Staff in January 2021, passed away just months into his tenure. His appointment followed widespread calls for leadership change in response to growing security challenges. Sadly, while on an official assignment from Abuja to Kaduna, late General Attairu's aircraft encountered severe weather conditions and crashed, killing him and 10 members of his entourage. Lieutenant General Lagbaja, an anonymous of U.S. Army War College, was commissioned into the Nigerian Army in 1992. Prior to his appointment as Chief of Army Staff in June 2023, he served in various key roles, including a platoon commander of the 93 Battalion and the 72 Special Forces Battalion. He also played pivotal roles in several major internal security operations, including Operation Zaki in Benue State, Lafia Dole in Borno, Udoka in the southeast, and Operation Forest Sanity across Kaduna as well as Niger states. A statement from presidential spokesman, Mr. Bayo Ononuga, confirmed that General Lagbaja died in Lagos after a brief illness. He has now been succeeded by his coursemate at Nigerian Defence Academy, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede. General Oluyede's appointment was approved by the President, Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces, President Tinubu, who has elevated and decorated the new Chief of Army Staff. Fumilola Adeyemi, Adbn News.
Well, moving on, House of Representatives Committee on Renewable Energy has expressed concerns over the frequent power grid collapses affecting the country. Chairman of the committee, Honorable Victor Afam-Ogene, voiced his frustration, stressing the importance of heads of ministries, departments and agencies attending committee hearings. He emphasized that their presence is crucial to addressing the numerous challenges facing the nation, particularly the ongoing power sector issues. Honorable Ogene also acknowledged the nation's sober mood following the death of the Chief of Army Staff, explaining that due to the national mourning, the hearing would be abridged. Honorable Ogene outlined the purpose of the investigative hearing, which is to assess the amount of funding allocated to the renewable energy sector and to ensure accountability for these investments. I'll move it.
Everything that we do as a people, as a country, as humans revolve around the whole issue of power. Only yesterday we suffered another grid collapse. And I am sure that the ordinary man, the ordinary woman on the streets will be wondering how come we are having this frequent grid collapse. We seated in this hall might be aware of the technical issues involved, but the world too will be wondering, what are we doing with our renewable energy sources that would have to be dealing with issues of grid collapse? If we had built this sector from when emphasis began, I'm not sure that at this time grid collapse would be something newsworthy. Because if we have most of our homes powered by renewables, even our offices going through energy efficiency, if we're able to enforce energy efficiency, the talk about grid collapse will be a thing of the past. But I know that honorable colleagues, the Minister of Power will say because of the grid collapse they are running around. But it's appalling that we would have a public hearing, and the second day into the public hearing, even the Minister of Power appears not to know what is going on in an important subset of his ministry. He should in fact be the one telling us what is going on in the sector, how well his ministry has monitored the goings on. But I doubt if the Secretariat has even had any input from the Federal Minister of Power. And like I pointed out yesterday, it's not going to be business as usual. For this committee, it's going to be business unusual until we put the right indices on track.
Moving on, Kano State Governor Engineer Abba Yusuf has pledged to rehabilitate the 76 minors recently released from detention, ensuring they receive support for their education and future development. The governor visited the Muhammad Buhari Specialist Hospital, where a team of medical professionals assessed the physical and mental health of the minors. He revealed that upon learning of the situation, he immediately directed the Attorney General and the Commissioner for Justice to take charge of the case. Governor Yusuf expressed his gratitude to President Bola Tinubu for his compassionate response to the children's plight and thanked all those involved in securing their safe return. He also commended the parents for their unwavering support and resilience throughout the ordeal, noting their strength in this challenging period. In this statement, Governor Yusuf assured that his administration will ensure that the minors are reunited with their families and provide them with opportunities to engage in small-scale businesses. He stressed the importance of education, assuring that the children would be enrolled in schools to contribute to the state's growth and development. The governor also promised that the state government will take concrete steps to reintegrate the minors who were arrested in connection with the #EndBadGovernance protest. He emphasized that while their actions were regrettable, they should not define their futures and committed to giving them a second chance at a normal life, including educational opportunities and support for their rehabilitation and personal growth. Still staying in Kano State, a state high court has issued an order restraining the Accountant General of the Federation, the Central Bank of Nigeria, and the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission from withholding allocations due to the 44 local governments in Kano State. The court's decision came after a motion ex parte was filed on 1st November by Chairman of the National Union of Local Government Employees, Ibrahim Mohammed, along with 5 other concerned residents of Kano. The motion, which was filed by the applicant's legal representatives, raised concerns over the potential withholding or delays in the release of funds critical for local governance in the state. The respondents in the case include the Accountant General of the Federation, who is the 45th defendant, the CBN standing at 46th defendant, the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, 47th defendant, the 44 local governments in Kano, and the 8 other commercial banks. Justice Ibrahim Musa Mohammed granted an interim injunction preventing the 45th to 54th respondents, their agents, officers, or representatives from interfering with the applicant's rights in relation to the case. Now on to other reports making our bulletin. Federal government, through the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, has announced the launch of its subnational tour aimed at improving the ease of doing business at the state level. The initiative is set to kick off on 12th November in Katsina State and will run until 14th November, featuring key collaborations between government agencies, the private sector, and international partners. The statement released today by the project manager of PEBEC Secretariat, Mr. Aimea Okwebolo, outlined the objectives of the tour, which will include town hall sessions, technical workshops, private sector engagement meetings, and an exhibition for micro, small, and medium enterprises. Now, according to Mr. Okwebolo, the tour aligns with PEBEC's overarching goals to enhance Nigeria's business climate by fostering trust and transparency between businesses and regulators while improving perception of the ease of doing business in the country. The statement said the first leg of the subnational tour will take place in Katsina and will involve stakeholders from 6 northern states, including Jigawa, Kaduna, Kano, Kebbi, Sokoto, and Zamfara State. It said the initiative is expected to create direct communication channels between state governments, sector-specific regulators, and entrepreneurs, addressing bureaucratic bottlenecks and enhancing service delivery. The PEBEC subnational tour is part of the broader mandate of PEBEC, which was established in 2016 to oversee federal government interventions aimed at improving Nigeria's business environment. Now, since inception, PEBEC has successfully implemented over 190 reforms focused on eliminating bureaucratic inefficiencies and fostering a more conducive environment for business growth. You're watching ADBN News at 7. Still to come. Federal Capital Territory Administration demolish illegal settlements along Airport Road, Abuja. Northern Economic Forum highlights benefits of new tax reforms, calls for unity and amid opposition. While National Association of Academic Technologists issue 14-day ultimatum to federal government over unresolved issues, threatens indefinite strike. Stay with us for more stories coming up after this break.
Welcome to the Niger Delta, a region of incredible beauty and stark contrast. From its breathtaking landscapes to its rich cultural heritage, this is a place where history and modernity collide. But beneath this serene surface lies a story of struggle and resilience. The Niger Delta is the lifeblood of Nigeria's economy, home to vast oil reserves that fuel the nation, yet it is a land where the people fight for their share of the wealth. Join us on the program Niger Delta Today as we explore the heart of the Niger Delta, discover the vibrant cultures, the struggles for environmental justice, and the stories of the people who call this place home. This is the Niger Delta, a land of contrast, a story of resilience, a journey of hope. Don't miss our exclusive series, Niger Delta Today, every day at 12 noon, only on Adbn TV. Witness the untold stories, experience the journey, be part of the change.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people they talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you no go fit take help yourself.
In this kind of situation now, what if they really no talk to una? Wetin be the way forward?
They go bury our chairman on Thursday. We go remain here.
Make we talk good where we dey see good, and where we know say we not dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman, no mother deserve to know the grave of his child.
The bank manager, the bank executive, they are the one the government should first face.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top Adbn TV.
In a world of overwhelming voices where everyone has different opinion on different issues, it is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we lend our voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just mere talk, it is an invocative program that touches the core of our existence.
You're welcome back. Now I'll bring you reports from the FCT, where the Federal Capital Territory Administration's Special Ministerial Task Team has demolished illegal settlements behind the National Park and the National Military Cemetery situated along Airport Road in Abuja. The settlement, known as Ruga, was cleared out with hundreds of shanties made from sacks, planks and scrap roofing sheets along the rail corridor destroyed and set ablaze. Here is FCT correspondent Naomi Oleribe with the details.
The demolition is part of Operation Sweep, a task force charged with removing illegal structures and arresting beggars in the city. The operation targeted illegal settlements behind Airport Road. FCT Director of the Security Service Department, Mr. Adamu Gwari, noted after the exercise that the Ruga settlement consisted of shanties and unauthorized settlements.
But presently, this sector is at Ruga village, where we have a lot of shanties and illegal structures on people's plots of land. And it has been established over time that these shanties harbors criminal elements and all those unauthorized people going into activities that are abominable to the law of the land.
One of the displaced residents, Mr. Ibrahim Yusuf, stated that those affected have nowhere else to go, citing the high cost of housing in Abuja.
They've come here more than 20 times, and we are still here. We're appealing to the government. We're appealing to the government. We would want a resettlement. Whatever condition they can give us to resettle us, I think we are ready to accept those conditions. This is just our appeal.
Are you ready to vacate this?
Because we are not ready, we can be ready to vacate, but we're not ready to leave Abuja. Okay. And we will always want to find a place to put our heads. So it means demolition will continue.
Additionally, the task force continued its clampdown on street beggars across the capital. following directives from FCT Minister Barrister Nyesom Wike. The team emphasized that the apprehended beggars would be sent to the Social Development Secretariat, SDC, for rehabilitation and reassessment.
We have other activities that with the tax team, because like I said, this is an operation sweep that have been involved in also clearance of beggar within the city center, which I believe will be interest to the residents of FCT. In fact, they've been applauding the FCT minister for carrying out this particular operation. We have over 368 beggars presently that we'll be able to remove from the street and taken to the Buhari Rehabilitation Center. And at that rehabilitation center, they are going to be profiled and asked the trade they want to indulge in. And based on that, the FCT administration is going to provide guidance and train them on such skills so that they can become more useful to themselves and the society and not just going around the city.
It will be recalled that the minister had previously set a deadline of October 27th for beggars to vacate the streets of Abuja. Naomi Olewibe, Adbn News.
Meanwhile, the Federal Capital Territory Police Command has reiterated its commitment to ensuring safety and security of the FCT and its surrounding areas, vowing to tackle all forms of criminal activity. FCT Commissioner of Police CP Olatunji Disu provided this assurance while parading suspects, including those involved in car theft, armed robbery, impersonating DSS officers, and one-chance criminal activities, amongst others. Adbn's correspondent Fumilola Ademi has details in this report.
A total of 23 suspects were arrested with 23 exhibits, including 13 vehicles recovered. CP Disu outlined the methods and strategies that led to the successful arrests.
The suspects were arrested while attempting to sell a stolen Bluetooth registration number KTW21550 to one of the command's undercover operatives. They did not know they were selling the car to an undercover operative. During interrogation, they admitted operating in Gariki for the past year and a half, taking responsibility for numerous cartels within that metropolis.
Some of the suspects confessed their involvement in crimes they committed.
We just introduced ourselves as DSS personnel, so we now asked them to come down, then came. We now asked them, are you boys? The boys admit yes. Say okay, now they don't want to go to office, we should settle here. So we now settle with them. They offer us money, we collect money from them. Then we ask them to go.
Which office were you able to do that?
No office.
How long have you been doing this, and how do you get their paraphernalia, the ID cards and all that?
There is no ID card.
We saw some Yahoo boys and decided to stop them.
Are you a police officer?
No.
What capacity?
Just we saw them doing it in Maraba, all those, even in Vigilante, stopping Yahoo boys, collecting their money. We are not a police officers.
So why you are?
So
where did you get idea of such crime?
I'm just saying them doing it in Maraba, all those in Vigilante. That is the reason why we just found ourselves.
Me, I dey collect phone.
You dey collect phone?
Yes, I know the whole gun.
So this gun, who they use this gun?
Na one Baba Atune. Baba Atune na some money bring am for Port Harcourt. He don't run.
So what's that the guy this gun there?
I don't know. Not yes, that today bring am na police come arrest him. Me and my brother this one.
With this achievement, the FCT Commissioner of Police, CP Olatunji Disu, has assured members of the public of the command's commitment to defeat crime in all its forms in the nation's capital. From Lola Ademi, Adbn News.
Now to tax reforms. Northern Economic Development Forum has sought to ease concerns raised by northern governors over the new tax reform policies proposed by President Bola Tinubu, expressing support for the reforms and emphasizing that the North stands to benefit. While some northern governors have opposed the tax reform bills, urging the National Assembly to reject them, citing concerns that they might not have the best interest of the northern region. The forum has reassured stakeholders that the proposed changes will improve Nigeria's tax landscape, benefiting the entire nation, including the North. The reforms, which were recently introduced by President Bola Tinubu and the Federal Executive Council, include a bill to streamline tax processes, create a unified revenue service, and simplify the financial negotiations for both businesses and citizens. Statement, the Northern Economic Development Forum stressed that there was no cause for alarm, urging that the deeper understanding of the proposed bills was needed before any opposition. The forum emphasized that the new policies are designed to modernize and optimize existing tax system rather than add new taxes or unnecessary complexity. Dr. Mustafa Ibrahim Gusau, who signed the statement, explained the key elements of the four major bills: the Nigeria Tax Act, Nigeria Tax Administration Act, Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Act, and the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Act. Now, these reforms, he said, aim to clarify potential misconceptions and ensure a new or more efficient and transparent tax system. The forum's research indicates that the new laws will not increase the number of taxes, but will instead streamline the tax framework, harmonize tax laws, and improve efficiency across revenue collection agencies. The forum called on all Nigerians, particularly those in the northern region, to embrace the proposed tax reforms, stressing that the initiative would foster growth, modernize the tax system, and benefit the country as a whole without fueling unnecessary divisions. Moving on, National Association of Academic Technologists has issued a 14-day ultimatum to the federal government, demanding swift action on unresolved issues or face an indefinite strike. NAT President Comrade Ibeji Nwokoma made the announcement during a peaceful protest at the University of Maiduguri in Borno State. Comrade Nwokoma expressed frustration over the Minister of Finance's refusal to release withheld salaries despite approval from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, calling the delay unfortunate and regrettable. Represented by the acting chairman of the University of Maiduguri, NAT branch, Nwokoma outlined the union's key demands, which include the immediate payment of withheld salaries, full implementation of the 2009 FGN NAT agreement, settlement of earned allowances, arrears, and upgrading of public university laboratories. In the meantime, NAT has directed its branches to hold protests and congresses nationwide and warned that if the government fails to meet its demands by 13th November 2024, the union will initiate a national protest and begin an indefinite strike. This move follows a similar 14-day deadline issued by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, which is also pressing the government to renegotiate the 2009 FGN ASU agreement and release withheld salaries from the 2022 strike. Now to other stories. The second day of the Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit saw strong calls for collaboration and confidence in Nigeria's economy. Chairman and CEO of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Honorable Abike Dabiri-Erewa, highlighted the positive impact of the summit, noting that last year's speeches led to successful investments. She emphasized that the summit is not just focused on attracting investors, but also on promoting a collective effort to strengthen Nigeria's economy.
What is also different about this are the pitching sessions. A lot of them are pitching, and we have people who from last year pitched and got investors. So, and also it's about having confidence in our economy. So if others are investing in Nigeria, why not the Nigerian diaspora? And you can see they came from all over the world to be here. And the stories are very inspiring. Those that have started the small businesses, those that are exporting. So it's been quite a 3-day event here. And what we will be doing subsequently as it grows bigger is to ensure more investors in the room, maybe the institutions.
Honorable Dabiri-Erewa also acknowledged the challenges to investment in the country, but assured that President Bola Tinubu's administration is dedicated to tackling these issues, urging Nigerians to contribute to the nation's growth wherever they are.
So we know that some things need to be better. The bureaucracy needs to be cut down. Even some of those who wanted to come, it was difficult even getting their visas. But we told them, you know, now we can do visa on arrival. So there are some bureaucratic bottlenecks. And then we know that infrastructure has to get better, constant electricity supply. But government is a continuum. The administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing everything to make sure that all these things are in place. It may take a while, but it's happening. So, but again, if you look at all the problems, then you won't do anything. So how come the others are coming? You know, so if you wait for everything to be El Dorado before, say, you want to invest in a country where we have 200 million people, we have the market, and those that are doing it are making it. So yes, government must play its own role, but let us also play our roles wherever we find ourselves.
An exhibitor, Mr. Tolu Mosuro, while speaking on the importance of sustaining the summit, emphasized the need for organizations to adopt global best practices to ensure the long-term success of investments in Nigeria.
A very key thing that is happening globally now is sustainability. Organizations want to ensure best practices with ESG, environment, social and governance. They want to ensure that they do green projects that would save the ecosystem. We want to empower women. We want to ensure that we make impact in the lives of the people, that especially our communities and all of that.
The summit continues to serve as a platform for building relationships and attracting crucial investments to the country. On road infrastructure, residents of Ikpa Itu Udoete Road in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, have called on the state government to urgently address the worsening condition of the road. During a visit by our team on Wednesday, several residents, including local business owners and daily commuters, voiced their concerns, emphasizing the need for a comprehensive solution to the road's deteriorating state. Adbn's correspondent David Isong has the full report.
This is the Ikpa Itu Udoete Junction, a key route that connects students to the University of Uyo Town campus. The road's condition is worsened by a damaged crane which has been left parked in a section of the road, significantly narrowing the passage for commuters. Several residents spoke out about the road's poor state, expressing concern over its negative impact on their businesses and urging the government and relevant authorities to intervene.
During rainy season, most of the people say call proper.
I've been driving this road for so long time, but the problem that we have in this road is truck that spoil this road for us, and this road is not good. So we want government to work this road for us so that we can ride. And our passenger is complaining, even though we, as a rider, we are complaining. This road is spoiling our keke.
With the trek, they come this side because of bad road. If you stop keke, they say no, they know they go. When I road no, it affects my business because they cannot cross and come and buy because of this poto.
All this keke have been falling inside this water. I've seen so many people fall down from the keke vehicle to the water. And sometimes some of them might get injured. So it's very, very risky.
In addition, a human rights organization led by Otoekong Franklin Song emphasized the critical role the road plays as a major access route to the Federal University and surrounding areas, making its swift reconstruction all the more urgent.
Those from Udoete, which is even the worst, have the same fate. And then the students' community too are suffering. Those who are doing business too are also having a very down toe of their business because the businesses are not moving. Motorists are also suffering. So we are also pleading that the government of Pastor Omoino should direct that immediately the Ministry of Works and that of the agency that maintains roads, which is Akurema, should come to immediately commence job.
The Uyo Village Road, which serves as a vital link between Uyo and Cross River State, is also in a poor condition. Echoing his appeal, Otoekong Franklin Isong, while acknowledging the government's directive to rehabilitate the route, called for a faster and more thorough execution of the project.
Those coming from that axis cannot actually come through. Ikpa Road is cut off, Udoete is cut off, Itu road is cut off. Now this road now is also cut off. So those from Itu axes are completely cut off from the state. So we plead that the government has, should monitor that those that they gave the contract should speed it up and complete this so as to enable us pass through to have access to the state.
Both Ikpa, Itu, Udoite Road and Uyo Village Road are essential commercial routes that contribute significantly to Akwa Ibom's economy, underscoring the urgent need for a complete overhaul. David Isong, Adbn News.
In Sokoto, the state government has reaffirmed its commitment to ensuring safety of road users across the state. This pledge was made by the State Commissioner for Higher Education, Malam Aminu Abdullahi, during a road safety sensitization program organized by the Ministry for Tertiary Institution Students. ADBN's Northwest correspondent, Lawal Aliu, completes the story.
According to the Sokoto State Commissioner of Higher Education, Aminu Abdullahi in Sokoto, protecting the lives and properties of Sokoto State residents is a top priority for Governor Ahmed Aliyu.
I will implore everyone to be active, participate actively. You are being asked questions, because your comments, observations, particularly questions on issues that relate to road usage.
Abdullahi added that the initiative aligns with the state's efforts to create a secure environment for its citizens. Dr. Aliyu Saadu, Deputy Vice Chancellor of Sokoto State University, welcomed the workshop idea, acknowledging its significance in promoting road safety awareness among students.
Organizing this workshop, particularly during this time of year, is very, very important. I used to go a road safety, they used to call some months, every months, if I stand to be correct, November, December, September, because of the levels of journeys traveling across the countries, a lot of traffic accidents.
The sector commandants of the Federal Road Safety Corps in Sokoto, A.M. Hassan, emphasized the importance of targeting students with road safety education, urging participants to heed to safety tips shared during the program.
This program will go a long way if you actually listen to what is going to be discussed this morning and take it home and even share it with people at home, your neighbors, and students who are there. It will go a long way to assist us in reducing unnecessary crashes on our roads. We have observed that most of the crashes that happen on the road involve students, either they are going to school or coming back from school.
The sector commandant said the proactive approach demonstrates the state government dedication to reducing accidents and promoting a culture of safety among its residents. And engaging with students, Sokoto State is investing in the future of its road users. From Sokoto, Lawal Aliyu, ADBN News.
Well, let's turn our attention to the foreign scene now. Donald Trump's re-election as U.S. president marks a remarkable comeback 4 years after his defeat in the 2020 election. His return signals the beginning of a new chapter in American leadership, one that is anticipated to challenge both domestic democratic institutions and international relations. But what does this mean for the future of U.S.-Africa relations? Our diplomatic correspondent, Amma Marcus, provides insights.
Donald Trump, now 78, made a victorious return to the White House after a campaign filled with divisive rhetoric that intensified the political polarization in the United States. His victory came despite two assassination attempts and after a dramatic shift in the Democratic race, where Vice President Kamala Harris entered the contest following President Biden's surprise withdrawal in July. On the future of U.S.-Africa relations under Trump's new administration, Voice of America correspondent in Washington, D.C., Oriyen Itangishaka, provides insights.
We have seen an urgency, a sense of urgency to have to hold on to Africa because of the influence of China and Russia, obviously. And under President Biden, we saw that in the past several years, he has tried to push the Libido Corridor project, which was to strengthen trade between Angola, Zambia, and Congo. And this was going to strengthen the relationship between that region of Africa and the United States. And under Biden, we also saw, however, a sort of anti-sentiment, anti-West sentiments towards, his presidency. We saw Niger ask the United States to close and to shut down its drone base in that country, and that was a big loss for the United States. We saw also other countries hostility towards the West, so Burkina Faso, as well as Mali, and a lot of the Francophone countries in the Sahel. And so that pushed the United States to have to do a lot of convincing Africa that they were going to do more to keep that relationships. Now, under the Trump administration 4 years ago, we saw Trump's administration challenging Africa to basically choose the United States over Russia and China for their commercial trade, security, and political partnership with the continent. However, we know that the AGOA initiative, which is the African Growth Opportunity Act, is up for renewal in 2025. And this specific initiative between Africa and the United States is a long-term commitment and a bipartisan support that the United States has with Africa. We're yet to see what's going to happen in 2025, whether the United States will keep that initiative going forward with a new administration under Donald Trump.
As the political landscape shifts, all eyes will now be on the new leadership as it navigates its relation with Africa and the rest of the world. Alma Marcus, reporting for Adbn News.
In the meantime, world leaders have congratulated Mr. Donald Trump following his victory over Kamala Harris in the U.S. general elections. The results have also led to a surge in global financial markets. Here are the first reactions. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu extended his heartfelt congratulations to Donald Trump on his re-election as the 47th President of the United States. President Tinubu noted that Trump's victory reflects the trust the American people have in his leadership and commended their commitment to democracy. President Tinubu expressed confidence that Trump's return to the White House following his first term as the 45th president will open up new avenues for strong, mutually beneficial partnerships between the U.S. and Africa. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu hailed Trump's victory as a historic return for the former U.S. leader and emphasized the beginning of a new chapter in the U.S.-Israel alliance. As Trump's lead became clearer, China's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning expressed hope for peaceful coexistence with the United States. She emphasized that China will continue to handle relations with the United States based on mutual respect, peaceful coexistence, and win-win cooperation while respecting the choice of the American people. Now, French President Emmanuel Macron also congratulated President Donald Trump and expressed readiness to work with him with respect and ambition as they had during Trump's first term. Macron emphasized that their relationship would be grounded in both leaders' convictions, aiming for greater peace and prosperity. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky congratulated Trump on his impressive victory and expressed hope that his presidency would help bring peace closer to Ukraine. Now, Zelensky lauded Trump's peace through strength approach in global affairs, which he believes could play a key role in ending the conflict in Ukraine. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated Trump, affirming his eagerness to renew collaboration between the two nations. While the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen congratulated Trump on X, stating that the EU and the US are not just allies, but are bound by a true partnership that unites over 800 million citizens. Chancellor Olaf Scholz congratulated Trump and reaffirmed Germany's commitment to working with him for the prosperity and freedom of both nations. While Emir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani of Qatar, which plays a significant role in Middle East diplomacy, expressed his anticipation of working together with Trump to promote security and stability both regionally and globally. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan of Turkey congratulated Trump, expressing hope that Turkey-US relations will strengthen and that global crisis, particularly the Palestinian issue and the Russia-Ukraine war, will be resolved. While Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi congratulated Trump, saying he hoped the president's return to the White House would help bring peace to the Middle East. He also looked forward to strengthening the strategic partnership between Egypt and the U.S. And South Korea President Yoon Suk Yeol congratulated Trump and expressed his optimism that under Trump's leadership, the future of the U.S.-South Korea alliance would shine brighter. He also expressed eagerness to work closely with Trump moving forward, as well as Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, who congratulated Trump, emphasizing that the bond between Italy and the United States is an unwavering alliance that will now be strengthened further. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte congratulated Trump, stating that his return to power would help maintain the strength of the alliance. Rutte said he looks forward to working with Trump again to advance peace through NATO. Well, moving away from the foreign scene, let's turn our attention to sports. Chairman of the National Sports Commission, Malam Shehu Dikko, has underscored the crucial role educational institutions play in advancing sports development across Nigeria. Malam Dikko made the statement while receiving a delegation from the Nigeria University Games Association, NUGA, in Abuja. He emphasized the partnerships with universities to enhance sports infrastructure, coaching and training programs will be vital in identifying and nurturing future athletes capable of representing Nigeria on the international stage. NUGA President Mr. Bawa Mohammed revealed that university athletes contributed approximately 35% of the medals won at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. He further stressed that NUGA is committed to driving Nigerian sports to greater international success through continued development and collaboration with academic institutions. Well, this is where we draw the curtains on ADBN TV News tonight. Remember to watch us live on DSTV channel 258, on Star Times channel 140, Avo TV app, Limex World TV app, and Niger TV app. For more stories, visit our website on www.adbntv.com. You can also watch us live from every part of the world by logging on to www.adbntv.com/live. I am Chijoke Okafo. Many thanks for watching and good evening.